Yes. Nothing says Minecraft like 100% pure Minecraft. It is I, Menace Snowdecker. Welcome back to another YouTube video of BeyBlade Land. I am loving the way this place looks more and more with every single passing day. I am going to finally start building Killer Befall today, but before I do, I want to show something real quick. First of all, before I show this, I have no part in politics. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. And by showing this item, I'm actually not taking part in politics. I'm only adding it for a very specific reason, and I will explain that here in just a moment. I added a rest in peace memorial to Charlie Kirk inside my BeyBlade land. The reason why I added this, there were actually two major reasons. A lot of people don't really know this, but Charlie Kirk was the laughingstock in the meme community for literally years and years before he actually started becoming a big deal, really popular. And one of those places where a lot of those memes were put was actually shockingly in the BeyBlade community. I cannot tell you how many memes I saw with him sitting in a chair saying things like, "Attack bays are the best. Try and change my mind. Istros is the best burst bay. Try and change my mind. Illegal combos should be allowed. Try and change my mind." I'm just making up words, but you get my point. There was meme after meme after meme after meme, and oh my gosh, I saw maybe hundreds of different BeyBlade related memes with Charlie Kirk's face sitting in a chair on him. And that's pretty much why I added this. First of all, why I added this inside my BeyBlade land. The second reason is because I don't like the way that a lot of people are acting. I mean, I'm watching people left and right call him a fascist and a Nazi. All these terms that they don't even know the definitions of, and he claps back every single time, just asking them straight up questions. He never raised his voice, never got mad at them. He never argued to the point of where they drew a gun and fist fought, or whatever order you want to go in. What was he? He was a father. He was a public speaker. He was a professional debater. And I've watched, I don't know how many videos of his, but I was amazed by how he acted. I would never be able to act the way he did. To keep us calm, to keep us cool, to stay collected, to laugh things off even when he's being mocked and bullied. I actually view Charlie with a little bit of respect. I don't agree with everything that he said inside of his videos, but the way he acted, the way he presented himself, the way he controlled his tone and his actions, it was something that I rarely ever see, ever. And I was amazed by how grown up he acted in almost every single video. And the most important thing was he never ever said, "Let's just fight about it." He was always trying to say, "Let's talk about it." And that is amazing, at least to me. And that's another reason why I'm adding this here. And to keep it away from politics, I put BeyBlade is supposed to be fun. Change my mind. And it's true, it's supposed to be fun. So if this offends anybody, I don't know what else to say to you other than suck it up. It's staying here. It's my world. I'm allowed to put this in here. And I think everybody laughing at him and mocking his death is just disgusting. I've seen it go on for weeks and weeks now. to those of you who have lost your jobs laughing at him being dead, congratulations, you deserve that. And if you don't understand why, it's very simple. This is a father, and he's gone. His kids have to grow up without a dad now. That really sucks. Here was a man who did nothing to the person who shot him, and the person shot him anyways. It breaks my heart seeing that. I was going to post a video on it about a week prior, but when I looked at the video and rewatched it, I sounded very hateful when I brought up some things that I did not really enjoy. So I just decided to just delete the whole video and just record this instead for the beginning of this video. I got very mad and emotional and actually cried about it. And why wouldn't I? It's not fair. It really is not fair. The man was trying to live his life same as us, and we take that life from him. How's that fair? It's not fair, but that's life. Life's never fair. Honestly, I'm gonna miss him. I never even got to meet him, or even hear his voice in person, or even talk to him. But truth be told, I actually deeply wanted to. You don't have to agree with everybody's point of view to have a conversation. I mean, shoot, I literally work almost every single night with somebody who rants about politics. And truth be told, he drives me crazy. But there are moments that him and me get along swimmingly, which is amazing. The point is, you don't have to get super duper upset about every little thing just because somebody disagrees with you or has their own personal opinion or belief. Not everything a person says is going to be right. Not everything they say is going to be wrong. But at the end of the day, if you have to shoot somebody to win an argument, you are the problem. And I'm deeply going to miss him. Alright, how am I going to start building this? Okay, well, first of all, now that I look at this bay a bit closer. First of all, I am not building this just yet because there's something else I have to do here. Before I do anything else, this is probably the most important thing I could do right now. And for good reason. Because I've already struggled with this with Tyranno Beat and Swordsran. Real question is, where the heck am I going to put this so it's out of the way? I guess I could put it right here for now, but I don't know. Maybe... No, I could put a bay there. Crap, fine. I'll do it right in here. I need to create a standard size for the face bolt, for the screw. Actually, nobody's going to see the screw, so I can just skip that part. But the rest of it, I need to make a standard size for. The wonderful thing about the majority of BeyBlade design work is it's meant to be compatible. And as such, a compatible bay needs to match certain measurements. And when I shrunk Tyranno Beat, I kind of messed that up a little bit, but I also discovered a few mistakes I made with Dran, so I will be learning and moving forward with that in time. But for now, I'm keeping my promise. My next build is Killer Befall. But before I start, I need to get this done, and I need to do this right. Measurement first. Otherwise, it's going to be a big fat abomination that's going to look ugly, that's not going to match the certain measurements. And because that is just going to be disgusting. Let me see, how many notches does this thing have? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 3 inside of each space. 3, 6, 9, 12. That would be 16. Yes, 16. Okay, so there's 16 notches on this thing for the bottom. And that size matches literally every single one. So, just so I can see this better, I'm going to use the blocks I already have on me. I'm going to use the smooth quartz. Oh, for crying out loud, why not? Nobody else is here anyways. I'm allowed to put my stuff where I want to. Actually, keep that. Keep that. Get rid of these. Goodbye. Hello. Adios. Keep that. Keep you. I'm gonna get rid of you. I don't like you. I mean, I do like you, but not right now. I don't need you. How dare you say that to Swiftness 2 potion? I don't care. It's just a potion. I can get more. It's not the end of the world. Okay, so I have 16 notches. I need to make this big enough to have 16. So this will be the bottom piece. I'm not building the bay. I'm trying to measure out the sizes. I'm making myself, I guess you could say, my own digital form of a ruler. And by doing that, it'll make it far easier for me. Fudge. There. It'll be far easier for me to recreate this exact same size again and again without problem. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. And then we do the same thing on the other side. Now, how am I going to recreate something with 16 notches and a shape like this? I'm going to need secondary color just so I can see what it is I'm doing, and it'll make it easier for me to look at. Okay, yeah, that has to stay extended because that's where the first set of notches go. So let's just go ahead and... yeah, let's just do this. This will make it far easier for me to measure it out. And we gotta bring it together and keep a circular design, otherwise it's gonna look absolutely awful. I'm not starting anything until I'm satisfied with this. You see, as the son of a military veteran, who also is a skilled construction worker, this has been drilled into my brain. It's a part of me now. When people tell me not to stand on wood, I'm going to stand on wood. Why? Because I'm comfortable doing that. I'm used to it. I've been standing on decking boards for so long over the years. It's just a part of me now. It's part of my childhood. You cannot take it out of me. It's literally a piece of me. And you never forget the lessons you learn in here. Always hold the equipment with 2 hands. Before you touch a device, make sure it's plugged in, and make sure the power and the switch is currently off. So that way, it doesn't randomly start up and cut somebody's hand off or something. When you go to use a miter box saw, be careful where you place your hands. You might just lose a finger. That's bad. And the most important rule of all, the most basic fundamental rule, well, one of 2 actually, but you get my point here. Measure twice cut once. That is a basic rule taught to you in woodworking and everything that is construction related. The second one they teach you is always wear the appropriate protective gear. What? What is it? What? I'm grabbing at my pockets thinking my phone's down there, but it's up here. Oh, more points. I don't care. I don't give a crap. Yeah, supposedly I just found out the other day I have enough points to get a $3 gift card. That's basically nothing. And that's why I don't accept it. Also, their points aren't balanced. I looked at it. Most of it is, but some of it's not. Okay, can I get 16 notches on this while making it look normal? These things are spaced, but they're very close together. The nice thing about these driver parts is that the 16 notches here line up with the tool, and the tool fits around your part. And because of the unique design work that they made, it's not going to fall through the bottom. See that? Coincidentally, that bottom section also fits on the face bolt, allowing you to tighten and loosen it, which is fascinating. I love seeing tools that are this well designed. You don't see that very much these days. Multi-purpose tools that actually do their jobs right. It's phenomenal. Okay, so 3 in between. Oh, dear Lord. Okay, so hilariously, the face bolt is basically going to be the exact same size as this piece, give or take. Oh, dear Lord. I just realized something. That is concerning. If I don't balance this right, it's going to look awful. I am in trouble. Fudge, I am in trouble. No. No, I don't want to be... No. No, don't. Oh, they added copper bars. That's nice. I didn't know they did that. It's not what I'm looking for, though. No, no, no. Fudge. Why am I looking at combat section and equipment? What am I doing? Please, no. 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 I don't care about the eggs. Why did you rework my dies? They were already beautiful. Mojang! What have you done? Fine. I'll just accept that that's life now. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Fudge! What have you done? What have I done? No. No. I had an idea, but it's not gonna work. Fudge! Stop deleting grass, you lunatic. I'm talking to myself. No. That idea's not gonna work. You know, I could really go for some vertical slabs right about now. I'm just saying. Could that be a thing now? Could we have that now? I'd even take sideways stairs at this point. My idea was I could space this out, and then I could use some fencing, or some bars, or maybe some glass, or walls, and just space it out in between. But the problem is I don't have enough diversity. The good news is they're all pretty much clear plastic. So I could just use glass for that. The problem is, if I do that, I know what's going to happen. This is going to happen. And that is absolutely horrendously ugly. That is downright disgusting. Don't even want to look at it. Yeah. It does not look right. It's awful. I need more diversity. Why did I do this in Bedrock? What was I thinking? I could have just made it in Java, but no, I put this all in Bedrock. I mean, the items are going to be basically the same, yes, but Java offers me actual mods that I can include whenever the heck I want to. Bummer. Now I can't do that. Darn. I'm screwing myself over by being a moron that actually enjoys Bedrock, because that's what I grew up with. What is wrong with me? I'm having a seizure. Not literally, just virtually. There's a difference. I mean, the spacing for the notching, that does work out there. But I don't like that other section. How am I gonna cope with that? How the fudge am I supposed to cope with that? You know what? They're small little nudges. I don't care, alright? I don't care. They ain't gonna see squat much anyways. It's gonna be very low to the ground. I mean, they're still gonna see it and they're gonna hate it. And they're gonna have every reason in the world to hate it. It's disgusting. Truly disgusting. Well, there's my measuring stick. I absolutely hate it. I deeply hate it. Those notches are going to bother me every time I look at them, but I don't know how else to do that. I need ample space for a face bolt. I really do. Because these face bolts are so unique. Every one of these is a unique design, but the design fits on the exact same size and shape. So if I had a sword, I could just recreate that easy. I could just go bam, bam, bam. And there's your handle. Bam. There's your sword. Done. Dunzo. Done deal. But the moment you try putting a face on there, you gotta have eyes. You gotta have a body. Maybe a mouth. And then all this crappy background detail that everybody's gotta look at that I gotta have space. I need space if I'm gonna have a face bolt. It's a must. It is a requirement I desire to have. Dag. Nabbit. The good news is I'm only going to be building this type of layout once. Well, measure stick wise. After I'll just be recreating it for the actual build. And the best part is I'll never have to worry about the size comparison ever again for this whole section, because I'll have something sturdy to rely upon, because they're all the same darn size. Alright, now, the face bolt. So I had 8, yes. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yes, I had 8. 8 all the way around. 8 so, done deal. Yay. Let's just do that so people can actually use that to measure. So, there we go. Done. So, if I have 1 dot... Actually, let's just use different items. Easier to stare at. Let's use... Get rid of the red. Let's use some blue. I'm feeling very sad today, and I could use something happy. No, I'm serious. Last night sucked. It really did for me. Let's get some more blue. There you go. Skip that one. Yes, thank you. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Blah de blah de blah. 2, 4, 6, 8. Do 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 do. 4, 8. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Done. First try. Awesome. Now comes the hard part. I need to figure out a way to make an appropriate hexagon, because every one of these face bolts is shaped exactly like a hexagon. All of these for the Metal Fight series are. It was only after they started going to the Burst series that they actually started rounding them out a bit more and actually trying to make it flush into the Bey. In the old Gen series, they looked a lot more like circles. So they went from a circle to a hexagon to being flush inside the Bey, which was fascinating. And then you get to the... well, the X series, and there's a give and take here. So we got the early ones, for example, they got the rounded middle section. I cannot see that on my camera. You know what, I'm just going to start enhancing my face on here so you all can actually see what it is I'm showing. I'm going to do that from now on. There we go. Now we can see everything. How's that? Yeah, that's a lot better. Yeah, so if you look at these... can't get the lighting to work. Focus on it, please and thank you. Not the screen. Oh, that's funny. It's literally reflecting my OBS screen. That's funny. Not that one. Come on. There we go. Notice how that's very circular. But then we go to the newer designs, like this one, for example, which I have not opened. It's the only one I have. That's fine. I don't really care about having an unboxed collection anymore. I just care about collecting one of each. And no, I don't care about the recolors. I just have this one because I happened to see it and I thought the orange looked kind of pretty with the yellow. Just saying. If you look at these ones, come on, you, focus. Focus on the pretty BeyBlade. Bruh, how dare you deny Pegasus its glory? Focus, dagnabbit, you. Come on. Come on. There you go. Now you're doing it. Notice how that one's a lot more triangular on the sides. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good for modular work and, you know, competitive design work and testing out new stuff. But then you look at these ones. Look at that. It's a flush hexagon nut face bolt. I think it's kind of fascinating. Probably just me, though. I'm going to be honest, I forgot what size I had my facial screen at. That looks a little bit too big. A bit better. I can work with that. The point is, you get my idea. The way the Beys just change in size and shape, it's fascinating to me. I've always been intrigued by their design works. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the Beys suck. Alright, they really do. Especially Istros. Horrible Bey. Ah, but so many fun, playful memories. I still can't believe I actually made a version of Istros that was actually a good combo. That was very funny. Getting beat by the worst Bey in history. Okay, so first things first, I need to make a shaping here. You know, let's just use the white. So these parts are about the same size. The bottom piece is just a hair of a fraction bigger than the one up top, it looks like. So if I skip one piece around the sides, it's not going to be too bad. And I should still have an adequate amount of space that I can actually do detailing work. It's not going to be as much. So I'm really hoping further down the line that these images don't get too crazy. Let's be honest, some of these stickers are really detailed these days. They really are. Drives you up a wall. Just trying to recreate it. So I'm dealing with squares, which means a normal design work would actually be an octagon. And that would create a shape like that. The thing is, I'm not building an octagon, so this is not what I need. I need to cut down the three-sided point here to two sides. And that will create what it is I seek to have. So if I do this all the way around, this is why you study mathematics. Yes, the actual math equations suck and a lot of the teachers are really bad at explaining it. Not all of them, just a lot of them I've had over the years. Personal experience. So, when you do stuff like origami, what you do to one side, you do to all. So by putting a three-side in here, you end up making an octagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This has 8 sides, and that's not what we need. What we need is 6. So I need to cut these down to 2. These sections have to go down to 2. By cutting it down to 2, I'll use a chest for this example. That's one side. That's another. And these two randomly connect somewhere here in the middle. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Ah, but you're forgetting that one of these sides is going to remain a constant. So this angle will now look like this. So this becomes one side, which means these two will link up. And factoring in that little math equation, there's our 6 sides. The problem is I'm building a 6 angle with 3 parts in a 4-part system, which is an octagon, because I'm using squares. You see my dilemma here? The thing is, I tried making a face bolt once upon a time in Minecraft. It didn't look that pretty. Bad memories. But this is a good example. This is a learning process for me. I now get to try something new. I'm a different builder than I was back then, so now I can actually try new combos, new things I could possibly do to get this to work here. I already got a basic size for that piece. Now I just need one for this. I'm drying my throat out. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Blech. So let's see here. How am I going to go about doing this? For starters, delete this whole section. But keep that. If I can create just the right angle, this could work out. But it has to be just right. I suppose, but that'd leave a big bump here at the end. And if I recreate that, that's not gonna... Wait, hang on. Actually... That's pretty darn close. Hang on. Hang on. That might be what I'm looking for here. It's not the right angle, but that's very darn close to what I need here. Shut up, grass. Get in there. Get in your little hole. Be a good boy. Ah. Okay, so if I keep that exact same pattern all the way around here, that's not exactly what I need, but that's very close to it. I don't know where that came from. And if I just... Oh, yeah, that's very close. Look. If I do the exact same thing I did right here, and I spread it out... How about that? I got very, very close on my very first try. I just have to increase it a hair. So let's try 3, which is not going to work here. I'm fully aware of that. Yeah, that's what I thought. But if I even this out... Well, we got a hexagon. It just doesn't feel balanced. Does that feel balanced to you? It doesn't feel balanced to me. This sucks. I spent an entire video building 2 measuring tools. That's kind of pathetic, actually. Wait, I think I got it. Put 1 there. Then I put 2, 1. No! What am I doing? No, 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 that's way too thin. Okay, try this. 1, 2, 1, 2. Wait. No, 2s. Then I try recreating that. Oh. Let's take a look at this here. I mean, that does feel really close, but it feels like these should be extended out a hair. Crap, but if I do that, I gotta do that to this side as well, and that's gonna throw off my entire weight and balancing design work here. Because I had to delete 1 to make space. Because 2, 4, 6, 8. Darn! I was so close, too. I mean, that is better than my last design. My last design was pitiful. I'm not sold. And I think these walls are part of the reason. They feel just a little bit too big. What do you know? That does feel a little bit better. Holy crap, I think I just did it. I didn't think that'd work. From a distance, it looks pretty sloppy. But assuming I face all of these designs at an angle, not from these steep ones, I just might be able to utilize that the way I want to. Because I could line this up here. Let me see. Neck. Eye. That can work. Okay, that works. I think I'm tired. I'm yawning quite a bit. Whoops. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay, so now I got the measurement layout for the bottom piece, and I have a measurement layout that I can use for the face bolt. These are the two most important things that I needed to get done. Because let's be honest, there are a lot of Beyblades. There's a lot of Burst, there's a lot of Metal Fusion, there's a lot of the originals, which I've never held in my life, and there's already a whole bunch of Beyblade X Beys. And the last thing I want to do is disrespect that design work. So, I will not be starting the complete Bey today, but what I can do instead is I can get a starting point to work off of. So let's get rid of this. I basically spent a whole video to do almost nothing. I know, it's amazing, right? But this will help me further down the line. It really will. So let's use the... How did that design look again? Because I recall this driver having a turning piece inside, yes? Yes, okay. So not really much, though. But just enough. Oh, fascinating that they angled the openings. There's two tiny openings inside this. I'm not going to be able to get that on camera. Oh well, that's fine. But there's two really small openings on here. But they're angled. That's fascinating. So this will be where we start the Bey. That's the very bottom point. What's interesting about this Bey is the part design work. The top layer is basically two metal sections. The layer underneath that has three angled plastic areas that look like they're literally fins on an animal. And the bottom has a spinning piece. So there's actually a little piece of iron that sits right in here. I'm going to use pillar cores. That looks the most like a pin here. But it sits right here at the bottom. And we can adjust that size later, but that is going to be my starting point. I'll just keep this apart for now. I gotta look at it again later anyways. I find this all so fascinating. So once we put that piece on top of here, because that part actually does line up in here, just slightly above this part, I'll be able to readjust this, give it an appropriate size if I have to, and then we can start building the bottom of the driver. But that will sadly be for next time. I'm sorry to keep you all in suspense like this. I wanted to at least get a basic build done for the bottom, but that's just not going to happen today, most unfortunately. But what I can do is save myself a few seconds of time by getting these parts now, so I don't have to get them later. So I'm going to need these. And that's sadly all I'm going to need. That's literally it. Those 3 items right there. That's all I'm going to need next time. The color scheme is simple and straightforward. It's just red plastic. So that's what we're going to do next time. Alright, well, thank you everybody so much for watching. If you liked the video, then give it a like. You want to see more, then please subscribe. And like always, this is Menace Snowdecker signing off, and I will see you next time. So bye-bye. Have a great day, everybody. Don't forget to smile, because remember, a smile a day goes a long way. I tried to get my face in here for once, just because I can. Now I'm giving him a spasm. It's a beautiful day in America, a land to bob your head. Come on, move along with me. This is too stupid. I love it. It's so childish, but it's so entertaining. It really is. Anyways, I will see you next time. So bye-bye. Have a great day, everybody. Don't forget to smile, because remember, smile a day goes a long way. I already said that, but it's true. So do it. Anyways, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.